Hey drummers, it's Michalkow and I am back for another lesson. This one is interesting, okay, because this is not something that I came up with. This is something that I had borrowed from Mr. Chris Coleman. If you guys haven't checked out Chris Coleman, do that now. Like, pause this video, go check out Chris Coleman on YouTube, and then come back. Anyways, I was supposed to be doing a drum clinic, sort of a drum festival in central Canada in 2012. And Chris Coleman was going to be the headliner, and I was going to be right up before him. And after checking some stuff out online with him, I realized, wow, this guy's amazing. He's a freak of nature. And he had this one concept that I really liked, and I had practiced it because I was actually going to sit down with him and say, hey, why don't we do something together with this, even though he'd blow me out of the water. I just thought it'd be kind of fun for the crowd. Anyways, Chris got a European tour or something like that, so he had to cancel, but I had still practiced this concept. And of course, Chris plays it way better than I'm ever going to be able to play it, but I just think it's really kind of cool, especially when we get into odd time signatures, okay? And odd time signatures are something that I've always loved. I do get a chance to play with them quite often with some of the albums that I've been on and some of the bands that I get to play with. But this one is interesting because the time signature is 25/16. And I always tell my students, you know, it's got to be realistic. The number's got to be realistic. Like 25, wow, that's crazy. Can we divide that by 5? Well, we can, but we can't divide 16 by 5. So the time signature 25/16 is actually the lowest divisible time signature that we can get. But I love how he explained it. And I guess that he had some tutoring from Fred Klatz, a Drummers Collective teacher who I had met. When I went to Drummers Collective and did some lessons there in 1993, I had a chance to meet a lot of the instructors there, and I believe he was there, if my old memory serves me. Anyways, enough babbling. 25/16. So what we're going to start with is we're going to start with the first section in 7/8, okay? 7/8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we got to do the math. That's actually 14/16 notes, okay? So 7/8 is 14/16. Then we're going to do a measure of 2/4, 1-eanda, 2-eanda, okay? Or we can say a group of 2/4. So 1-eanda, 2-eanda is 8 more 16ths. So at the moment, we've got 14 plus 8, which is 22. We have to end this phrase with 3/16 or 3/16 notes, okay? Now you're probably going, what? I mean, if you haven't seen Chris's video, you guys are thinking that I'm making this up. But no, this is actually quite simple in a sense. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1-eanda, 2-eanda, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1-eanda, 2-eanda, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1-eanda, 2-eanda, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, so you kind of think about that, and hopefully you guys have played in some odd time. But the nice thing is 7/8 is a very common time signature, 2/4 is a very common time signature, and then 3/16 is just simply 1, 2, 3. So whether you want to interpret that as 3 notes on the hi-hat, 3 notes on the snare, 3 notes as a fill, whatever you want, it's going to be up to you. But let me just kind of show you guys an example of what I'm going to play here, okay? And I'll try to count this as I'm playing. It might be kind of tough, but I'll see if I can do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1-eanda, 2-eanda, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1-eanda, 2-eanda, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1-eanda, 2-eanda, 1, 2, 3. So notice on the 3, I just went 1, 2, 3, right, left, da, 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 which is my 1, 2, 3. As the simplest form, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1-eanda, 2-eanda, which is just half of a groove in 4/4, followed by da, 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 which is 1, 2, 3. As we get to learn this and understand it, you're not going to count it, okay? Because I'm thinking, some of you are laughing. I know, I can hear you through the TV and through your computer screens. But that's how drummers think down the road. Because counting gets way too complex, and almost like we don't need to, because it doesn't become as musical if we're always counting. We got to feel rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1-eanda, 2-eanda, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Two, three. So that's kind of like taking it in its simplest form, okay? And yay, I can play in 25/16, so it doesn't make me any more employable. But it definitely gets guys like you to watch this. This is awesome. And then maybe someday I'll get to do another clinic or workshop or drum festival with Chris, and we can jam this, and he can completely blow me out of the water on this. But I'm having fun with it. So what I've done, I've sort of taken it a step further. That's one thing I always do, is I always like to take something that I've learned. How do I take this a step further? Now, I'm still going to stay in the same concept, the 25/16. But what I've been doing over the years to really solidify my time and my time confidence, obviously put on the click track, but when you think about 25/16, am I really going to put 25/16 notes on the metronome? Absolutely not. Then I'm thinking, okay, you know, I could go into my computer program and I could set up the click so it would be on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1E and a 2E and a 1, 2, 3, 1. I could do that, sure. But I want to do something that I can do sort of on the fly at the drum festivals that I do in the clinics and in the lessons on YouTube as well. Is what I like to do is, for me, regardless of the time signature, how short or how long, I like to always know where the recycle point is, and I call that 1, okay? Not the 1 of each group, the 1 of the entire pattern, okay? So I started practicing this and realizing that it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1E and a 2E and a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1E and a 2E and a 1, 2, 3, 1. Then I realized that's pretty slow. So I need a metronome that can go slow. So on my iPhone, I have an app called Tempo, where the metronome goes really ridiculously slow. And I've actually set the metronome to 18, 1/8. A tempo you wouldn't naturally want to practice in, but when you have to squeeze 25/16 notes into 18 beats per minute, the tempo is kind of normal, okay? Let me give you an example. I'm just going to put my wonderful jet flying headphones on. And here's 18. Are you ready for this? So the first thing I do is and you can choose 18. You can go slower. You can go 10. You can go 25. But it starts to get a little crazy. I tried practicing this today at 25. I was like, oh, wow, this is getting a little silly. It's funny. Practicing at 25 BPM, and it was too fast. So what I have to do is I have to establish that feel, that groove within this tempo, okay, and make sure that the 1 is lining up. And it's tricky. I mean, I might catch it on the first time. I may not. Let's find out. So I got to establish it in my head first. Let's see what happens. 4, 5, 6, 7, 1E and a 2E and a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was lucky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2E and a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1E and a 2E and a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1E and a 2E and a 1, 2, 3. Wow, I was actually lucking out a couple times there. And, you know, and I love to be able to do that because it's a good feeling. It's a feeling of accomplishment. Like, wow, I can get so silly crazy and goof around in the weirdest time signature that's never going to get me any better gigs. Well, who knows? Maybe. Maybe if, you know, there's a Frank Zappa tribute band or something. Who knows? But that's what I like to do with that stuff. So obviously that's like the goal for some of you guys that are going to already play. But take any time signature, whether it be 9/8, 7/8, 6/8, 4/4, different tempos, and try to put the click on 1, and try to keep that space, that real open space, so your playing doesn't become so robotic. And I think that's something that I'm still working on as I listen back to some of the stuff I did years ago, even 5 or 6 years ago, going, everything felt really stiff and robotic, and how can I loosen that up a bit? And it's almost like a balloon. You know, the time is a balloon, but there's always that center point where the air is going to come out, and that to me is the one. So that's just sort of my take on time. Have some fun in 25-16. Impress your friends. It might get you girls, and for you female drummers, it might get you guys. I don't know. Hard to say. I haven't really tried to impress anybody with this one yet, but let me know what you think. Check out Chris Coleman. Check out Fred Klatz. I give these guys hats off, kudos for being so awesome. And I love the drumming community. I love all the subscribers. I love all drummers. Drummers rule the planet. One day it's just going to be drummers walking around, and you know, the next evolution of people. There won't be cavemen. There'll be guys with drums under their arms, you know, walking in 25-16 or something silly. Anyways, guys, take care, and we'll see you real soon. Happy drumming, and enjoy your time in 25-16. Moi.